going to call order. Welcome to the Equity and Inclusion Advisory Board meeting, October 10th, and we're going to start. Thank you. We're going to start with the roll call.
Okay. Akia Sanders, Michael Scherzer, Jarrell Green,
Present.
Roberto Castillo,
Present.
Elvira Diaz,
Present.
Rose Mesa.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Very good. We're going to go to the next. We have a public comment. I really like to have Tracy. She's 9.1?
9.1.
Okay, I went ahead of the game, guys, so we don't have any general public comments. And then, we're going to go then, number 4 would be approval of the agenda. We need to go to the approval of the agenda. Yes? Who will like
I,
to?
Jarrell Green, move to approve the agenda.
Second?
T-Tran, second. My thing is not.
Yeah, it's not working, but, okay, so the agenda is approved? Yes, sorry, the thing is not working, okay. So we're going to go to 5.0, it's approval of the minutes.
Madam Chair,
Wait,
we
you
do
need
need
to
a
have a
vote
vote.
on that.
Oh,
It looks like
sorry.
the system is
The
having
system-
some
okay.
technological.
So let's do the approval of the agenda, and we can do by hand, showing hands, because the system is kind of asleep right now.
If we could do a voice vote.
Voice vote, okay. Voice vote, approval of the agenda. How you do that? Aye? Aye? Oh, it's aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Any people who's opposed? Any comments? The meeting is approved, the agenda is approved. I'm still learning. Okay, number 5, we're going to go approval of the minutes. And that one maybe has a little thing we can see, oh yes. So approval of the minutes.
And it seems like the system is still having some issues, so if we can go by voice again, that would be
Okay,
appreciated.
we're going to go again, who wants to?
T-Tran, move to approve the minutes.
I, Jarrell Green, second to approve the minutes.
And then we're going to do a voice vote. Who wants to approve the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
People who don't want to approve the minutes? None. Any comments? No comments, so it's approved. Okay. Number 6, we have a presentation. So we have somebody who very nice opened the door for me today from the Veterans Affairs, and he's going to, you can come in front of us and present for us we're going to talk about Veterans Health Administration Equal Employment Opportunity Program. And we're going to have a presentation. If you would like to come to the podium and open the computer and give us the presentation and give us your name too.
All right.
Thank you.
First, good evening. Good evening. Had a wonderful evening. Had a wonderful day. An amazing weekend. Unless you're a Cowboys fan. Sorry.
And we're on Facebook Live, so people know
Okay.
that this is on Facebook Live too, just in case.
Show. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so first, my name is DeJuan Scott. I am the Equal Employment Opportunity Specialist for the VA hospital located here in Northern Nevada. I look over not only the main hospital located right downtown off of Kerman Avenue, but we also have 9 smaller sites all over Northern Nevada. So the EO program covers all federal employees, or current, former federal employees, and also those looking to go into federal employment. So tonight, I really wanted to go over not only my role and how it ties into diversity, equity, inclusion, and how they really connect, okay? You see on the screen what the EO program is. Once again, I'm not gonna read it verbatim, but at the same time, the EO program was designed to protect the federal employees, current, former, and/or those trying to get in against any redress against any protected classes. Then you do have race, color, religion, sex, regarding merit, including sexual orientation, age, national origin, disability, physical or mental reprisal. Now, within the private sector, you have what is called the EEOC. Within most of your rooms, you have the big old sign that has all those little words at the bottom that says, call that number. Well, I'm that person for the VA hospital. So basically, I'm a walking number in a sense, but with a name. And regarding the EEO program itself, it's governed by all of these laws, okay? I could go over every single law in very much detail, but we would be here for the next 2 weeks. You probably wouldn't like me after that. But these are all the reprisal laws, how the EEO program is governed through the federal government. Every federal agency is governed by the EEO program, mandated by law to have their program within their establishments, okay? And if I'm going too fast, I was born in Atlanta, raised in South Jersey. A lot of friends from New York, so I can go. So if I'm going too fast, just let me know. I have no problem with slowing down. But these next couple of slides, just going over little bullet points of what's the protected classes that we protect within the EEO program regarding our federal employees. So once again, we have race, religion, sex, color, disability, reprisal, age, national origin, gender identity, sexual orientation, parental status, genetic information, and also marital status as well. Now, before we get into how EEO goes right into what we call the VA hospital IDEA, we see IDEA as a preventative measure for EEO cases. If you can cultivate an environment, a working environment that includes all these 4 items, you will have less EEO cases, less cases of harassment within your workplace. Why? Because each 4 of these are very, very important. EEO is after the fact. Something's already happened in the establishment. That's where I come in, doing reporting, doing the investigations. IDEA, on the other hand, is basically what is utilized to prevent those type of things, ensuring that all staff members feel a specific way when they're coming to work. They're feeling whole, they're feeling complete. And that's where what we call IDEA comes into play with the VA hospital: inclusion, diversity, equity, and access. And now when you look over those specific words, I know everyone kind of throw around DEI, DNI, DA, but what do they truly mean, not only to the general staff members, but you, your leadership, and also everyone that you interact with, not only at work, but also within your working day. Now, a picture up. And I always ask everyone when I first meet them, my new hire orientation is, can you tell me the difference between these 2 pictures? I don't know if you've seen it before, but you have equality and equity. Equality, you're providing everybody the same exact thing. But that doesn't specifically say that they will achieve their goal within their not only professional life, but the personal life, when you just purely say, I'm going to give you equality with everything. Now, equity, on the other hand, equity, our goal is to ensure that every staff member is given all the resources to be successful, not only within their private life, but also their professional life as well. Some staff members, some individuals may need a little bit more, but our goal is all the same, for everyone to reach their ultimate goal, okay? Now we go over each line. Now, one word that I know that through my time of being with the VA hospital and previous organizations is that this first word, some people seem to get it mixed up with diversity. Having a diverse work group, yes, you have individuals coming from different nationalities and different walks of life. But do you have an inclusive working environment? Which means this: does everybody on your team feel that not only they can come as they are, but giving their point of views and they mean something? That's one of the biggest pushes in IDEA, is ensuring that you have an inclusive working environment, make sure everybody's worth and word counts to your ultimate goal within your organization, whether it be in the federal government or the private sector as well. Every organization can look at this and say, hey, we have a diverse work group. How do we take advantage of that? Because everyone knows Our staff members are the most important, biggest asset within every company, organization, or facet. And diversity, of course. One mind, one same mind, how do you be innovative? How do you go outside that box? How do you grow as a company with this ever-changing world? Where diversity comes from. Just talked about equity. Hey, ensuring everyone has equal access, which goes right to access. I want to ensure everyone is able to have that access to what they need to learn and grow. So, what are the benefits of having a idea working environment within your workplace? Innovation. Like I said, everybody's mind is important. Everybody's mind brings up a specific and different aspect to everything. So why not utilize that to grow? Increase moral satisfaction. In today's world, you're not like it was back in the day where, in a sense, you go to work, you clock in, you go home. We want more. Individuals want more. Work-life balance. How did that shift within the last 10, 15, 20 years? COVID proved that. COVID proves there's some jobs that, guess what, can be done from home. But how did that come about? Innovation. Innovation come from not just leadership, the staff members on the front line. And if those individuals did not feel that they could step up and speak about those innovative ideas, where we'd be at today, even after the very treacherous time of COVID that we've all felt. Increased team collaboration. Diversity and inclusion also allows us to learn about each other. I don't feel comfortable being a part of a team with a team member that I don't know. I don't know their name. I don't know their background. I don't know how I can interact with them successfully, professionally in the workplace to build that bond. And overall staff satisfaction. Happy staff, happy organization. And it all comes from having an idea environment within your workplace. There's the cons. No innovative thinking, one way of thinking. How could have this world grown if we just thought one way? How could we have built better cars? Almost every car, every company has now an electric car. But do you think that we would be able to get to that point if everyone thought the same exact way? No, we probably may have still square wheels. Decreased moral satisfaction, which leads to decreased collaboration, decreased staff satisfaction, which ultimately leads to what? A decreased staffing level, which leads to burnout, which leads to health problems, which leads to staff members leaving the organization, which leads to organizational failure. Without no staff, you don't have an organization, okay? Now, within the VA hospital, these are all of our programs that what we call special emphasis programs. Every single program has a special emphasis manager. And within those specific programs, their focal are these specific items that they focus not only with their staff members, but the numbers in the VA hospital, the main hospital, the C boxes. What are we doing to increase these specific numbers in these organizations? We're having fun. I had the opportunity, I was blessed with having individuals from the city of Sparks, Reno PD, Sparks Police Department, and other fire and rescue to come to the big diversity fair that we had at the VA hospital this past July 14th. First time on the news here, I had fun doing that as well. But it was an amazing turnout. Our veterans loved it. Our staff members loved it. Gave them a chance to come out from behind those closed walls, taking care of our veterans. But some of them were like, wow, we had a chance to meet some staff members that we never even knew existed that worked from locations like Fallon, Winnemucca, Carson City. They all came together as one to celebrate diversity. And all these programs are very, very key to ensure that not only our staff members feel that they can come as they are, but our veterans. Because at the end of the day, the VA hospital, they are our number one goal. Taking care of those who served and taking care of those who pay the ultimate price for us. That's what VA hospital is for. So we want them to come as they are. And every single month, the VA hospital is celebrating specific observance. Every month, I'm decorating. Every month, we're having an event. We had an amazing event this past 2 weeks where we had dancers from Fallon to celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month. And these individuals were amazing. Their dances were amazing. And the veterans gathered together, and they were so touched that we showed them that we do care about everyone within our hospital system, especially them. They had an amazing time. These individuals danced their tails off. And I can tell you that if you want any dancers to come into your establishment, please give me a call. I will let you know how to get in contact with them. And for questions and answers for me, whether it be what I do for the EEO program at Federal Hospital or our initiative with IDEA for the VA hospital system as well.
This is Elvira, for the record. I have a question.
Sure.
Sorry for my ignorance, but
Nope.
I don't know what is tenure? Tenure?
Oh, tenure,
Tenure?
how long they've been.
Oh, no, English is my second language, so probably in the Facebook, some of my friends will not know what it is. Maybe they do, and just me. So tenure, oh, okay.
Tenure.
Tenure, sorry.
Tenure. So a lot of organizations, they just depend on tenure and years of service within the organization to really get that knowledge from individuals. We're in a whole new world. Someone who just graduated from high school, even a little bit of college, may know something a little different to bring to the table than someone's been doing the same exact thing, the same eyes for 20, 30 years. Fresh eyes. That's what we mean by tenure, your time spent within your role.
So you're appreciating, I mean, you consider the people who's been so long in one employee because has something to give to the table. Okay, I understand it.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Because the
Right.
younger individuals or older individuals, they all bring a different aspect.
Yes, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And can I have another question?
Yes, Jarrell Green for the record. Mr. Scott, thank you so much for being here tonight and for your presentation. I have a question. How has IDEA helped the VA grow in terms of actual recruitment of diverse candidates?
So with that, as we become IDEA influencers, our recruiters are spreading the exact same word. We're opening up our eyes to not only the colleges and universities, but the high school students as well. But we're ensuring that our recruiters are being trained and taught the initiative of IDEA. If you look on LinkedIn and you put in IDEA, you'll see that this here initiative is brand new, but it's being pushed all through the hospital system and through the federal government as well. My pleasure.
Thank you. Another question?
Roberto Castillo for the record. Mr. Scott, really appreciate the opportunity to listen about the Veterans Affairs efforts. Couple questions. So how hard was it to come up with the platform of all these bullet points for IDEA? And then what do you think is the ease or complexity in implementing this? Because like you said, your position is really more reactive than proactive, and this is really more a proactive stance to try to curtail even the thing happening. And I think that's one of the reasons why the board was basically formatted, was to help out different communities. And I think it'd be more important to actually address things that you can solve before it's actually a problem, and it's a lot less costly to do it as well.
So the IDEA initiative put together, I didn't put it together, I would have loved to. It was actually created what we call the Office of Resolution Management, Diversity, and Inclusion. And they've spread it all the way through the US to DC. So that was created within the central office. And I've become an IDEA influencer along with my role. So when I joined the VA hospital with the EEO program, you see that the EEO program is a very reactive program. Once something happened, that's where we are. So how do you take it a step further? And that's where I came into play, where I don't want to just wait for something to happen. I want to ensure that I can prevent it, which is where IDEA comes from. All those programs, all those managers, our goal is to really get into the core, the facets of staff members. What do you need? Servant leadership. How to teach our supervisors to be those type of individuals where they're just coming to work and they're just managing. No, they're leading by example, holding accountability equal across the board. So it's got to start from here, the mindset, the culture. It's got to be taught all the way down, Because the staff member wants to walk in the office and say, hey, I'm hearing all this about idea and diversity, equity, and inclusion, but I go to a staff meeting and my leadership don't give off the same, culture and working environment. So it's got to start from here. Idea is from here, comes all the way down. And answer the question of how do you incorporate that within, maybe say your organization. It starts with your leadership. How are you leading your staff members? How are you going through your everyday walk of life? Because being an idea influencer is not just at work. It's what I do at home. It's what I do at work. It's what I do when no one's watching. It's a mindset and it's a culture. And that culture spreads and has been spreading. So it's like I said, it's a matter of teaching your leadership how can they be better leaders and not managers? How can they show and do, not just say do?
Thank you. Go ahead.
Kia Sanders for the record. Sorry, I was late. I do have a question that kind of goes alongside what he just said, Roberto just said. So it sounds like you're more of education outreach piece and not necessarily, like, how necessarily do you hold them accountable? Because I know, like, the EEO that vehicle is how you file a complaint if you're an employee and you have an issue. So if that issue keeps reoccurring, like, are you just going back to redo more training with that department? Like, I guess I get the influencer piece. It's like, okay, how do we make actual change?
Okay. So the accountability piece here for the EEO program, okay, it can be anywhere from just training to unfortunate individuals may need to no longer be with that organization, okay? That's the EEO accountability piece. Ensuring the leaders understand that they must be leaders, they must have that idea within their specific departments. The leaders are holding each other accountable. We're actually going to the huddles, we're going to the meetings, we're popping in on the actual service department saying, how's everything going? We have specific questions we're asking. Do you feel included when you have a huddle? When there's a new initiative within your service? How do you feel that your ideas and your suggestions are being treated? Are you being treated fairly as a woman, as a man, as an LGBTQ plus individual? Those questions are being asked and they're being brought up. The specific issue keeps coming up where a leader is not cultivating that environment, then unfortunately maybe that leader is not fit to lead within that service.
Thank you.
I have a comment.
Yes, ma'am?
First of all, my friends, the dancers, Latino dancers, they went to the VA to dance. Yes. And I said, what they're doing there? Because I checked the pictures and they were so happy. They perform, but also they learn. So this works both ways. So I want to observe that this emphasis observation of the dates are really amazing. And I want to ask a personal request. When you do the November 20, the Transgender Day of Remembrance, can you please let me know? I have a transgender son. So I try to do it's a very difficult day for transgender people, but I would like to attend if you invite me to the event, if it's possible. Thank you. Roberto?
Roberto Castillo for the record. Hey, just real quickly, I think, so we were just looking back and we've officially hit a year, which is pretty exciting. At the beginning, the big thing that we had was a question of how to identify what the group was really gonna, even the definition of the board, of what it was gonna stand for. Does this idea, since it's a federally mandated program that was somebody derived, correct?
It was created, but it's not just mandated. It's being created to cultivate and to be able to critique, what I'm looking for. You could formulate it to your own organization.
Okay.
So it's not just the idea of we can take it away, only the federal government can utilize it. No, these ideas can be interchangeable and brought into.
Is it widely available? Can you just go onto a site? And, because I'm sure each one of these things probably has descriptive,
If you go to,
explanations or implementation
if
practices.
you go
and
to
stuff like that.
idea.org, and I can send information over to Cindy for you to access everything.
Okay.
You'll be able to pull up everything and what we're doing.
That's cool, because I think part of the growth with the group was just kind of understanding what direction to take to implement, because we have a lot of different groups that have come in front of us, and I think the one thing that I haven't really heard was a proactive approach to before there's a gripe about a particular, injustice or imbalance in a particular demographic or something like that, which what the board was really formed for, so that's awesome.
And also, if anyone, if they're on LinkedIn, you go to look for IDEA, you're gonna see everyone that's influencers, any of the individuals who helped create the idea as well, and lots of information on there as well.
And any help that you need, Elvira Diaz for the record, any help that you need for us to get new employees at the VA, so we can connect you, we can be your, I would say your bridge or your link to you guys. Any suggestions that you have from us?
So with my standpoint, with new employees at the VA hospital, I would love to connect you with our recruiting staff and those who are in charge of recruiting to get more individuals and get more veterans to come to the VA hospital, because our goal is to get as many veterans enrolled and taken care of at the VA hospital as much as possible. So that outreach I'm doing also is recruiting veterans to come say, hey, we're here for you. We want you to come as you are, feel comfortable coming and getting your care there as well.
Thank you.
Rose Mezzo for the record. Thank you so much for coming, first and foremost. And I really enjoy the concept of the events that you hold. So I know that we're planning a calendar, and I'm wondering if we're able to probably connect with the events that you have to be able to publicize this on the calendar. I know it's probably veteran affairs related, right? But you know how you mentioned there, you want to reach out to as many and be able to get, more people to come. So we're hoping to perhaps be able to connect with you and get those events on our calendar, just in case, the city
I'll also
sparks
send out
veterans,
the contacts
etc.
for our special emphasis program managers, because they also help plan these events as well at the VA hospital in our smaller CBOX locations. Because one thing we're doing this year is we're not just having events in the main hospital. Our goal is to have them in the small locations as well throughout Northern Nevada.
Thank you.
Elvira Diaz for the record. One question. I see many veterans, for me, like houseless in the streets. Maybe they have mental health issues. And it would be so amazing that we can help them connected to you. So sometimes, like you mentioned, people don't see they have this concept because they have the problems after going to, the war or whatever they have. So we can really help the people who fight for us, so they can help the housing needs or the mental health they need.
And again, I can send you my location, my information, Cindy has. Send them my way. If they don't feel comfortable just walking in, so give me a call and I can connect them to individuals and get them to the hospital. If they don't have transportation, we'll get them there.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Scott, for your presentation.
My
This
pleasure.
is really nice. And thank you for what you do. We're here to support you. We need you.
Thank you so much. And I want to thank everyone for having me tonight. I know there's been a couple of meetings coming, but really appreciate everyone's hospitality and thank you so much.
Okay, wonderful. So we're going to go to our second presentation. It's our community survey update. As Roberto Castillo mentioned, September 13, we have a 1-year anniversary of this board that looks like we're not doing too much, but really we're doing a lot, thinking about it, you analyze. So our wonderful city staff, she's going to present it for us.
Thank you, Chair Diaz and members of the board. For the record, Allison McCormick, your Assistant City Manager. Just a brief update on where we are at with the community survey. We have exchanged a first draft and some comments with the vendor, ETC Institute. Earlier this week, they got us a second draft back. So I would expect to present what I hope is a final draft for your review and feedback at our November meeting.
Thank you, Alison. Any question for Alison? Thank you so much for your hard work. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move to item number 7, general business items. So we're going to discuss possible action regarding to our community calendar. including but not limited to brainstorm possible to events to be placed in the community calendar. So Allison, I think you're going to do this one again.
I am. Thank you,
So
Chair
thank you,
Diaz.
thank you, Allison.
Again, for the record, Allison McCormick. This agenda item is kind of a standing agenda item for the last several months. It is agendized for action, but staff isn't recommending any action at this time. I did hear Member Mesa's request during Mr. Scott's presentation about adding some of the VA events onto that calendar. Previously, we had only been adding events from City of Sparks, City of Reno, or Washoe County. So I certainly want to stick to government agencies' events, but I think, certainly the VA is an important government agency serving our community. So absent contrary direction from the board, I'm happy to make that change going forward.
Roberto Castillo for the record. So I know we've had a lot of groups that have presented in front of us. Is the format to keep it more government in nature for the stuff that's on the calendar because that's the kind of the design of the calendar, or is there a logistic reason for not trying to incorporate some of the groups that present in front of us?
There are a handful of reasons to stick to kind of government-sponsored events. First is just volume. We have to enter those events manually, and that could be a full-time job if we had Cindy doing all the events into the calendar for every community group that is in the local area. Another potential issue is First Amendment concerns, having some groups' events but not other groups' events. Is a concern. So having it be limited to events that are sponsored or supported by another government agency helps alleviate some of those concerns.
Akia Sanders for the record. I had more of a request than anything, and I don't know if this is happening already, so please forgive me. But I guess when the City of Sparks as a whole gets those like requests to attend events that are culturally diverse centric, can we get invited?
It would certainly depend on the event.
Of course.
If it's a ticketed event,
Right.
Then it's probably going to be just the mayor and council.
Of course, of course.
But we can
Like something like that he was discussing at the VA, like that was community focused.
Yeah.
And so us as representatives of this board, and I know in the beginning, there was cases where Chair Diaz had been reached out to, but I think, if we're not ready to put together an actual event where we're hosting and we're doing it, and I don't even know if that's something that's possible, at least in those community events that are vetted, that are open to the public, can we just get a shout out and say, hey, this is open, this is, centric to the theme of your board. We would love to have you guys support as City of Sparks ambassadors. Just a thought.
I cannot promise perfection, but I will promise effort in that regard.
Thank you.
Thanks.
No, I'm talking about that point. I want to emphasize that City Sparks has been attending community events like getting tablings and be with the community, and that really makes a difference. So we, as a community member, appreciate that. And for example, if you have an event that we need to pay, you can invite us. We can choose to pay if we want to. That way, people, since we're with the community and it's kind of more official, we can break that barrier of, maybe it could be language or cultural thing, whatever, so people can know more about City Sparks.
Akia Sanders for the record, just to piggyback on what she said. The reason I said this is because I sit on other boards. So one of the ones I sit on is for the county manager. And so part of our duty is to go to Washoe County events.
Okay.
And we're ambassadors for the county. So it's like free, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not the commissioners, it's not people that are getting paid, it's us that are volunteers that are choosing to take our own time and we're backing the city, we believe in what we're doing. And so if these events are, like I said, open to the public, and I'm not saying you spend $1,200 on a table and you hold 5 seats for us, and that's tricky, but I just think that it gives us a little bit more work to do, because sometimes it feels like we come, we go over agendas, people present to us, and that's it. And I'm just speaking from my own perspective, so.
Understood, thank you.
Roberto Castillo for the record. So I completely 100% agree with Akia in regards to everything she just said, because I think at the very beginning, our not knowing the direction of the group, the board, was how do we implement our involvement in different underserved or, pressing or, or upwardly mobile. I mean, we've had a huge difference of groups that have shown up, some that are very organized, some that are at a very beginning stages of what they're doing. And I think the one thing that we have is that we've seen enough groups. I would say, again, what you said about the calendars is obviously it's logistically necessary because of the bandwidth of all the different groups. But even if we as a group could have the possibility of vetting out groups that we can possibly add to see whether or not they fit within the scope of something that the city would feel ongoing value in possibly adding them to the scope or an event or something. And then also, I think the invite for the monthly meeting, I think it's really the only piece of communication that we get. If part of that communication is, hey, by the way, this is a thing, there's a couple opportunities for anybody to meet the folks at this group who would like to take. I mean, we're all fairly busy, but I'm sure one or two people can chime in and say, yep, I would be more than glad. I have the availability and I would love to meet, people that we can bring back information to the team and be accountable for pushing the ball down the field. So however you want to digest that, that's my feedback on that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for doing so much for us. We appreciate it. There you go.
Thank you, Alice.
She's running away. No problem. Okay, so we're going to move to the item number 8, comments for the committee, comments for us. So the first one will be 8.1, request for a new future agenda items. Any requests?
Yes, T. Tran for the record. So yes, adding on to, because, Allison doesn't have enough to do, obviously. To Roberto's point about, seeing the groups that we have in the past year. And some of them, were just kind of startups and things like that, and some were very well established. I'd love to see kind of an update, just a status check-in on these guys. I don't want like a report or anything like that, but I would just love hey, Sparks Equity is just checking in on you. How's it going? Any cool, something you accomplished over the year? Would you like to come back and give us an update? I think that would be nice because sometimes we get a lot of information and I don't want anyone to fall through the cracks and think, well, I did a presentation and they didn't really care because they didn't really follow up. I think it is our job to continue to engage. So thanks for bringing that up, Roberto, because it's true. I think we need to, just come back to these guys. So if we could do that, thank you. Sorry, I know you don't have enough to do.
That's easy.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other?
Yeah, Roberto Castillo for the record. So I think what Akia brought up is a great idea too. We've now been here a year. I don't know if there's a function to do maybe a small window, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour in the hallway with maybe coffee and donuts or anything, and just invite the groups. Those who can make it, great. Those who can't, and just kind of have an opportunity to say thank you for spending time and shedding some light on what your hopes and dreams and even some for the fears that you may have with your different parts of the community. And even if it's going to cost something, I'd be more than happy to contribute towards refreshments or something. I'm sure the city probably has a small hall that we can use to just invite somebody, and a Thursday night, a Wednesday night, very casual, nothing overly critical, but just to kind of just say thank you and just, I don't know, if that's an annual thing that we could do, I think it'd be cool to just see, and and really for them to see each other, to see how alike they are, because even with the information that the gentleman presented tonight, I think that idea thing can be implemented and just be handed out, and they can each bring in leaflets or whatever and kind of share amongst each other to help, again, the rudimentary ones from the very organized ones to kind of help the equity and inclusionary part of our city, so.
Thank you so much, Roberto.
Rose Meza for the record, and just to add on to this thread of conversation, but when we reach out to the prior organizations that have come to us to present and such, could we perhaps additionally, the ones that are government-based, could we perhaps ask them if they're comfortable sharing any upcoming events that we could share on our calendar as well?
Yeah, Alison is writing, they're writing, so I guess.
Thank you.
Roberto Castillo for the record. If you need any Red Bulls or coffee or luncheons or anything, you let me know. We'll be happy to, all right.
Okay, any more? Okay, thank you. So we're going to do committee members' announcements. Any announcements? We don't have no announcements. I have personal announcement. I'm going to Spain next week, just for vacation. So hopefully I learn something from Spain. Yeah, just for, I need to have time. Okay, staff announcements.
Just a couple, thank you.
Okay.
Allison McCormick for the record. Our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, November 14th at 5:30 PM, so same time, same place. And then the city, with the help of Reno Housing Authority, has launched a couple of rental assistance programs. I've got a stack of flyers here, so once we wrap up, if anyone would like one, please, or several, please let me know. They are double-sided. We've got a seniors-specific rental assistance program, as well as a non-senior specific rental assistance program. Both programs are funded by the state of Nevada. They passed a bill in the last session to give the city $1.5 million in this fiscal year and another $1.5 million next fiscal year for this exact purpose. So, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Okay, so actually I'm bringing someone tomorrow for that. So we're excited. Okay, now we're going to do, we're ready for 9.1, public comments. We have one lady who's been so patient waiting here. Her name is Stacy Piro, and she's going to talk in support. And I let you give you the floor.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay. Yes.
I'm confused. I can't even tell you where I ran across the information about this committee or the advisory board. So my first question would be, is there, I don't want to say a job description, but is there a description of what the advisory board gets involved with, covers, whatever, and is that online or? And you have a wonderful voice, I'm in love.
So we can't really engage in discussion with
Oh.
you, but
Oh,
you can
well, then
ask
I
your
don't have-
questions
That's
and.
okay.
and-
I had lots of questions, but if you can't engage them, that's okay.
So the board can't engage in discussions about anything that's not on an agenda.
Okay.
But you're welcome to ask your questions, and if it's something I can help you with after the meeting, I'm happy to do so.
I'll get ahold of you after. Sorry, I apologize. Okay, thank you.
No, thank you so much.
I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you so much for Stacy Piro for stopping by to do public comments and have questions. We appreciate it. Okay. And I think we're adjourned. Thank you. That's my favorite part.